What's up, buddy? Hello everyone and welcome back. My name is Bailey, also known as CringeMcCringle here on YouTube, and today is Friday, which means it's time for me to review. Today is Friday, and that means that it is time for me to release another video review. And I would just like to point out that I am not prepared for this week's video. I am currently recording the intro Thursday night, while this video comes out Friday, 12 p.m. Yep. Great time management on my part. But I'm going to get it done and I'm going to get it out because I'm a boss-ass bitch like that. Anyway, I'm going to read the script now. So over the past few months, I have done quite a number of video reviews on a lot of Baver's product that's sitting over there. And, well, I thought that I would kind of switch it up and talk about alternators again because it's been a fat minute since I've done that. This more than likely will be the last alternators video for a minute. Not forever, but just for a minute. I've got some stuff planned. It's in that box there. There's a lot of animated stuff in there that I really want to talk about. But today's video is going to be, like I said, on alternators, and in fact it's going to be on the Japanese counterpart, Binaltech, with today's subject being yellow tracks. Why is he yellow? So for a little background information for y'all, I love Corvettes. Not as much as I used to when I was a kid because, well, I live in the Midwest and they're everywhere. For about 10 long years, I had a fat head of a C7 Corvette Z06, I think it was. A blue one. It was a big blue Corvette fat head. It was on my wall. You probably saw it in previous videos. And I might have a picture. I don't know. But I've since taken it down. Mainly because, you know, gotta display the Aaron art. If I just move the camera, oh, you can't see it, but yeah, so it's no longer, stay on there we go, it's no longer with us, and because it's no longer with us, this is like kind of like my remembrance video. So yeah, nevertheless, this mold is one of the best from Transformers alternators, so let's take a look at why.
Starting in robot mode, as I always do, you can see that Trax is not his usual blue self. He's bright yellow this time around for some odd reason. Aaron Archer himself has stated that he was yellow to give the line some pop of color on shelves, since there was a lot of blue between smokescreen and the package design. Originally, Hasbro was going to release Trax in yellow until they discovered that the yellow plastic was weak and thin, so they went with blue anyway. Japan, however, did not have this issue, as all of the yellow is die-cast metal. He still looks good though, which is all Trax really worries about anyway. The head sculpt is perfectly G1 in style and molded in white with a red painted face, which makes him stand out from the rest of the Autobot crew. Trax also comes equipped with these lovely shoulder missiles that rotate up and can be put into a few different positions. Trax has these big chunky shoulders made of the rear fenders of the car and massive forearms as well. Move these sliders out and now he has arm guns. Pretty cool if you ask me. The chest is super tiny and clearly not the real thing, but let's be honest, it would look uglier without it. Legs are on these odd double joint assembly that can make him a slight pain to stand, and although they look fragile due to the metallic color, don't worry. I've messed with him a bit since I've been recording and I haven't had any issues. They're perfectly fine, unlike the Swerve release. Never touch that figure, guys. He will turn to dust faster than Spider-Man in Infinity War. Legs also have the car kibble just kind of hanging off the back and the doors just hanging off the sides. Not really a good look, but it has to go somewhere, I guess. Trax also comes with this gun that you can plug into his hand to get some nice poses out of.
Alright, so I'm going to actually show off the posability a little bit differently than I usually do. This was inspired by that toy guy because his looks a lot easier to edit than the way that I do it, so we're going to do it this way. So, for posability, he's got this little head joint here so he can look left and right, but it's not really much of a swivel. The shoulder cannon things can move. They can go like kind of up and down and like around, so kind of get those wherever you want. The arms here, they can rotate around as long as you move the kibble kind of out the way, and they kind of mess up the backpack though, and then you're left with that. So, but then there's also this arm joint here that goes up and down, and then we've got this ball joint here that bends and obviously rotates, so you can get all that. And then the hands fold in like that, so you know if you want something like that, along with this finger that's on a hinge joint here. And then we get down to this section of the robot, which is not that great, so we'll just we'll just get all that out of the way. But the legs move forward and back, and they move out. They do also rotate because there is a ball joint right up here. They're somewhat sturdy. They're a little loose, but that's mostly because of the die cast. This joint here, if I can get it properly, that bends, and then because of the transformation, this also bends as well. So you can kind of get somewhat picky about how you want to pose it, but because of the kibble, that kind of destroys that. And then the ankles are on ball joints, but they can only go left and right, and they can't really go forward and back unless you use the heel spurs in a specific way. But yeah, overall, posing isn't great with this guy.
And here is the vehicle mode. Trax turns into a C5 Chevy Corvette Z06 finished in Millennium Yellow. This car mode looks sweet, especially as the Z06 model, the high-performance top dog model, if you will. And let's go over all of the other little details of this mode. Starting off at the front, you can see a few distinct C5 Corvette design choices, like the front license outline with the word Corvette embossed into it. There's also the lower grille with the fog lights and turn signals next to them. Very small, but there is a perfect looking Corvette logo as well. On the side, we can see the Z06 specific rims finished in silver with a red painted brake caliper behind it. There's an air vent with the Z06 badge above it, and further down we have this black grille with a molded in meshwork, gas cap, and the red reflectors on the fenders. On the back, we see that same Corvette logo on the trunk. Taillights look great. Corvette has been embossed into the rear, and there's an ever so tiny little red brake light right there. License plate is painted white with an Autobot logo, and the reverse lights have been painted silver. And finally, we've got the slats in the rear bumper, which can only be completed with chromed out exhaust pipes. I'm not going to say again how great Alternators figures are in vehicle mode. I say that every video, but I'm sure you can tell.
Now, because this is also a scale model car, you can do some scale model car things, such as opening the hood, which actually does open up backwards and in two pieces, not unlike the car. And by that I mean the car's hood opens up this way, not in two pieces. Anyway, inside there you can see the engine. Right. If I move the lighting and make it look better. But yeah, as you can see, the engine is painted with some nice red and black, so that looks pretty dang good if I can get it in focus. The wheels also have a turning gimmick, and they actually work on both sides. They connect to each other, so that's pretty cool. And finally, the doors open up as well. You can open them up like this, like how they are on the actual car, and as you can see, there's a giant missile right in there, but they also open up kind of upward since they're on a ball joint, so you can, if you want to, open it like a Lambo door, which I think looks pretty stupid, personally. And I have actually seen a Corvette that actually had this, and it looked just as stupid in person as it did on this. If I can stay.
Looking inside the interior, you will see the seats painted with this lovely red color, and you've got everything else in there too. A steering wheel, which surprisingly can move, a dashboard, stick shift, center console. The doors inside are also molded with detail. And finally, because this is a Binaltech release, all, and I mean all, of the car's body panels are molded in die-cast, making this guy quite hefty and cold to the touch.
Burr.
And since he is in vehicle mode, we can finally finish up this video review by putting him away in his ever-so-stylish Japanese box. It is a very cool display option, and here's what the rest of it looks like, just in case you were wondering.
So, Binaltech Trax is, well, like most Alternator figures, a bit odd. Car mode is beautiful and perfect, but robot mode is less so. So yeah, it's a bit weird. For the most part, it looks pretty good, and it's got a lot of feature play with the missiles and the forearm guns, and there was something else I was gonna say, but I've forgotten. What does the script say? The gun. That's what it says. Leaving him standing for display on the shelf is great, but actually messing with him, it's a bit of a chore. I feel like most modern Transformers collectors aren't going to be interested in a weird, wacky Japanese repaint of a super old toy line, but maybe you're interested in it. I, being the weirdo that I am, I had to get this guy. One, because I am a car enthusiast, and two, I'm a crazy completionist madman, and I must get them all. But once I'm done with this video, he's going to go back into this box, and live there until I get a house, because I have goals. I want to have all this on display. Anyway, I'm going to stop talking now. That is where I'll end off the video, and until next Friday, I will not see you until next Friday. This is a terrible outro. I will see you all next Friday on a much better time-managed schedule. Yeah. God, I love the holidays. I'm always doing something. Yay. Okay, anyway. I'll see y'all later. Take care. Bye-bye. Bye-bye now. Bye. Bye. Bye-bye.